I want to talk about a theory called the harvest. This theory is essentially the idea that hateful people are going to be raptured off the earth by aliens as we approach technological singularity with AI. The idea is that even as advanced as the aliens would be, humanity could still be an issue to them if we get our hands on singularity tech. The aliens told our ancestors about this process, and we created religions about it. In the future, we will have the ability to create heaven or hell, and there's going to be a process in which the people who would create hell are removed, and the people who would create heaven stay on the earth to do so. The aliens should be thinking in timescales beyond anything that we can comprehend. They should be thinking millions, maybe even billions of years ahead, which means that they should have an obsession with stability. If humanity were to get its hands on singularity technology, or even if the singularity is not impossible, if we get like a mini singularity, if we get our hands on that, we could end up being an issue to that stability. And so there's going to be a harvest. One of the things that you may notice is that there's a strong overlap between people who believe that there's going to be a rapture and people who, if raptured, would make the world a better place. This is not a coincidence. A lot of people say that the universe is made out of like our manifestations. It's just a projection of our consciousness. That is true. I can talk more in detail about that later. But these people who believe in the rapture, they are like in many ways manifesting it into reality, and their hubris will end up playing a key role in the reason for like the justifications that go into getting rid of them on the planet. Let me explain that better. So the souls that are going to end up being removed, they're going to be people who want to experience some level of suffering, either in themselves or in others, or they enjoy some level of conflict, or they believe that scarcity is beneficial to themselves or to others. Or in other words, they want to live in a world where people don't get what they want, including themselves. That's going to be used as justification for removing them. The idea is, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to complain and say that they don't want it? Too bad. They want to get what they don't want, so that doesn't cut it. I see a lot of jokes online making fun of religious people, saying that these people who believe so much in heaven and working towards heaven, they are doing the complete opposite when it comes to building heaven, and that if you were to put these people in heaven, they would be miserable. They would hate it. Many of them are genuinely going to believe, as they are getting raptured, that they are being saved from hell. Hell being, of course, a utopia that we create on earth. So these jokes in the future are not going to be jokes anymore. They're going to be lived experience as we watch them get raptured. Whether or not you get raptured in the future, it will be based on your choices, which means you can think of it as a choice. The people who are getting ripped from the planet and placed somewhere else, they are choosing to have that happen to themselves. And all of this, a bunch of the stuff right now that we see fear-mongering, especially about gender and race right now on this planet, it's going to become poetic when we look back at it, because we'll see it as like this. It's almost like they know that this choice is coming up, and they are psychologically preparing either to be removed from the planet or to go through these changes where they become better and end up staying on the planet to enjoy the paradise that we create. It's going to be weirdly spiritual and religious in the future, even though it will make a lot of technical sense as well. Like when the aliens are explaining the process, it'll be like, yeah, okay, actually that makes a lot of practical sense. Obviously we can't have these people around when we gain access to the technology of the gods. All of this chatter that we see online about communism, Marxism, capitalism, about just completely redesigning the way that we structure society, about transhumanism. There's fear-mongering about transhumanism. There's just a ton of hopium about transhumanism. Like people are debating and arguing about whether or not globalism is a good thing. Spoiler alert, in the future we are going to have global systems, and it is going to be fantastic. But the point is, right now, all of this is happening with some level of awareness. People at some level, either like subconsciously or in the realm of their higher selves, they know deep down that like this event is going to happen, and that they have to make a choice as to whether or not they end up staying here on this planet to enjoy the paradise that we create, or whether or not they're going to get raptured by aliens and put somewhere else.
The souls of the unworthy shall be cleansed, and the meek will inherit the earth. Join the cult.